Hey YouTube, what's going on? Son of Sanguinius here, and in case you've been living under a rock for the past 24 hours, GW has just announced the release date for the new box set and rules for 8th edition. So, I'm going to be telling you guys some stuff that's on the article here. I'm not going to read through it as it is quite long, and I'm kind of short on time as it is, so basically, just to summarize here, 8th edition 40K will be hitting us on June 17th, as the article states, and we can pre-order June 3rd, so mark that date on your calendars. Moving on, they also show the new box set called Dark Imperium, and in here, it looks like we're going to get some Primaris Ultramarines versus some Nurgle Plague Marines. Inside, what they show are two Intercessor squads, a Hellblaster squad, and an Inceptor squad, on the Ultramarine side. So the Intercessors, they are what we've seen before with the new bolt rifles, pretty much the tactical Marine equivalent, if you will. The Hellblaster squad is interesting, as they are depicted here with what appear to be plasma rifles, I guess. Probably the equivalent of Devastators in the current edition, or perhaps something like the... I don't play 30K, so I don't know exactly what they're called, but something along the lines of the support squads or something like that, where they can carry various special weapons. So that's interesting to see. We'll have to wait and see the rules on those guys. And the Inceptor squad, which appear to be jump pack equipped Primaris Marines with what they call twin assault bolters. So that's interesting. We'll have to see what those are. And of course, they show sort of the champions of the Ultramarines here. They show two Primaris lieutenants that are leading the Intercessor squads, one with a power sword and bolt pistol, and the other with a auto bolt rifle. So we'll have to see, again, the rules on those. Pretty interesting. They also show a Primaris Ancient carrying a chapter banner, and they also show a captain in new Gravis armor that we have not seen before. So quite interesting. We'll have to wait and see what the rules are for those guys. But taking a look at the Plague Marine side here, they obviously have a unit of Plague Marines, and boy oh boy, these models look pretty darn good. I'm sure a lot of Nurgle fans out there have been waiting for this, and boy oh boy, does this look amazing. So, they also show a new demon engine, the Foetid Bloat Drone, which looks pretty ugly in a good way. And they also show Poxwalkers, which I'm assuming are sort of the new cultist Mark of Nurgle equivalents here, and boy oh boy, do these guys look terrifying. So then they also show off the leaders of the Chaos Forces. They have a Lord of Contagion, who appears to be wearing some sort of, as they describe it, some sort of mutated cataphractii armor with a power axe. So that looks pretty cool. They also have a Noxious Blightbringer with what they describe as some sort of plague bell that may have some sort of in-game effect. And they also have a Malignant Plague Caster who appears to be a Nurgle Sorcerer. So that's pretty awesome. So then they go on to describe how the data sheets for both the Death Guard and the Primaris Space Marines are included in two separate booklets. And of course, the rulebook itself can be found in the box, along with dice and what appear to be some sort of measuring stick, of course. And moving on here, they also say that they cover what's in the core rulebook, which will be available separately. And here, let's see, they say here that it includes, obviously some story advancements, about 100 pages of which. And they also talk about the rules that are in here. So in the core rules, they have 3 ways to play: open, narrative, and match play. And they also have advanced rules to represent the myriad of war zones. And they specifically state here that the advanced rules cover Cities of Death, Planet Strike, Stronghold Assault, and Death from the Skies. So this is pretty awesome, I feel like, because before all of those 4 things that I just mentioned, they used to be supplements that you would have to buy separately, and sometimes just the way the editions were, they didn't quite jive well, and you had to sort of house rule some stuff. But this is pretty awesome. I feel like as a rulebook, this is awesome. We get essentially 4 expansions alongside the core rules, with the 3 ways to play. It's awesome. Honestly, the rulebook looks pretty damn good. So, moving on. They also talk about how the core rules for Warhammer 40,000 will be available for free. They say you'll be able to download the Battle Primer PDF on Games Workshop site and Warhammer40,000.com from June 17th. I think we both know by the title of Battle Primer that this isn't going to be the full rule set. This is just going to probably be a condensed down set just to get you going. However, for us who are already big into 40K, we're probably going to want to get that core rulebook. Hashtag not sponsored by GW. But yeah, so the Battle Primer, it might be interesting to take a look at. I may cover it on this channel, but we'll have to wait and see. And then they go on to talk about the books, the 5 books that were talked about that were going to have all of the current factions listed in them. So it says here that you'll probably want to pick up the either the Warhammer 40,000 rulebook or the starter set to get your hands on the full set of rules. And then they have 5 indexes that have all of the current factions in them. So taking a look at this, we have, starting with the Imperium, there are 2 books. Index Imperium 1, which has Space Marines, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Grey Knights, Death Watch, and Legion of the Damned. And it, basically, if they wear power armor and they're loyal to the Emperor, they are in Index Imperium 1. Index Imperium 2 basically has everyone else. It has Astra Militarum, Adeptus Mechanicus, Imperial Knights, Imperial Agents, and Talons of the Emperor. So if you play Astra Militarum, you play Adeptus Mechanicus, you go for Index Imperium 2. So now, I'm sure Chaos fans will be happy about this. Chaos is just all in one book. It's under the Index Chaos book, and it contains Heretic, Astartes, and, let's see, is that Chaos Demons, and something else. I'm having a little bit of trouble reading that, but Chaos is all in one book now. That's awesome. One of the things that I kind of never got was the fact that Chaos Demons and Chaos Space Marines were sort of separated. I'm sure some people could see how it made sense, but I kind of like the idea of Chaos being all in one book, because let's be honest here, one of the cool things about Chaos is to have your Chaos Space Marines and some demons and Traitor Guard, whatever. But now it's all in one book, so that's cool. And lastly here, sort of the oddball of the group is Xenos. Xenos come in 2 books. So the first one is the Index Xenos 1. This has, Craftworld Eldar, Harlequins, Ynnari, and 2 other ones that I am having trouble reading. Index Xenos 2 have Orcs, Tau Empire, Tyranids, and Genestealer Cult. So it looks like Xenos players, they're gonna have to pick obviously the one that they can represent their army. But they also specifically note here that for example, in the Xenos 2 book, the fact that Orcs and Tyranids are now in the same book doesn't mean that they're on the same side. It just means for now that the 2 factions can be found in the same book, but that they're not allied to each other. So that's pretty interesting. Obviously, we all just kind of assumed that these were going to be some sort of weird alliance books. That does not appear to be the case from what I am reading here. I think the title of these books explains it all. These are indexes for the data slates that you will need to play the game. Nothing more, nothing less. Just the rules for the units that you need to play the game. So that's what's in these books. They also briefly touch on the fact that there's going to be new tactical objectives, command dice, wound trackers, combat gauges, and Sector Imperialis objectives. Obviously, these are something that we can expect alongside, the release of a new edition. They also show a new book that's on its way here to the Black Library, Dark Imperium by Guy Haley. So some of you might be interested in picking that up. I might actually pick that up, honestly, just to see what it's all about. So, they basically say, keep checking back as they will cover some new stuff going forward this week. Honestly, guys, I'm very excited right now. I woke up this morning, I was kind of groggy, didn't really feel like doing much today, and then I look and I see, holy shit, GW has done it. They have announced the new edition. So, honestly, I'm pretty pleased with everything that I see right now. I'll probably make a video later on, but there were some things concerning the assault and the power of shooting that I feel like I'll make a separate video sometime later on here. But lastly, I just wanted to sort of apologize to you guys. I realize that I have not been covering this stuff as well as I should be. Obviously, I have some some real life obligations, and my hours for my job have been quite erratic, and it can be a little bit strenuous, a little bit tiring sometimes, just to try and keep up with all the shift changes. I work part-time at a gas station, and I've done everything from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. and back again, and it can be a little rough sometimes. So anyway, that's enough of me rambling on, guys. So what do you think so far about the new edition? What do you think about Primaris Marines and all that stuff? Honestly, the rulebook and the indexes look great. We'll have to see how much they cost in the future. Hopefully they won't be too much. GW said that they were going to work on sort of lowering the prices so they weren't gouging us, so we can have more money to buy on their models. But we will have to wait and see. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.